friends, and welcome back to Swift Lessons for another lead guitar tutorial. In today's session, I'm going to be sharing with you a very powerful but beginner-friendly method for creating lead lines using major scale harmonies up and down the fretboard on 2 strings. As always, I got a full PDF study guide for you at patreon.com/swiftlessons. You can support the channel there for just $1 a month and gain access to a ton of extra resources for all my popular YouTube guitar lessons. Now, let's get started. Okay, close look at the fretboard, getting started with section 1, the G major scale. So the major scale is created by using a specific sequence of whole steps and half steps. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Now, if we begin that sequence starting from the note G, here on the 3rd fret high E string, then we end up with the notes G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G. Okay, so that's going to be 3rd fret, 5th fret, up a whole step to the 7th fret, the 8th fret, the 10th fret, the 12th fret, the 14th fret, and then finally the 15th fret, back to G. Okay, so there we have it, the G major scale on a single string. Now, each of the notes that we have inside that scale can be harmonized with another note on the G string. Alright, to come up with some more lush lead lines. Now, this is because the notes in the major scale can be converted into a chord progression, with each scale degree being designated as either major, minor, or diminished. Now, the order of those chord types is as follows. We got major for the 1 chord, minor for the 2, minor for the 3, major for the 4, major for the 5, minor for the 6, and diminished for the 7, and then we're back to 1 again, major. Okay, now it's very helpful to be able to play those exact same chord shapes, but in bar chord form, because that's where we're going to find the note that we're going to be harmonizing with on the G string. For example, if I play the high E string 3rd fret, that's that G note. If I turn that into a bar chord, alright, G major, I'll find that there's a note here on the G string that can be harmonized with that high E string. So essentially, we're playing a very reduced partial of this full bar chord shape. Okay, so there you have the first harmony for G major. The 4th fret of the G string goes very, very well with the high E string 3rd fret. Okay, this is the root, and then this is the major 3rd. Okay, up next we're going to need a minor interval to represent A minor, the 2 chord. Okay, looking at the bar chord form, the G string and the high E string, 5th frets for both of those strings. Okay, so here's a very simple way to play over top of G major to A minor. Okay, classic lead line for those 2 chords. Okay, now the next chord in the key is going to be minor as well, B minor. So we have G major, A minor, and B minor. Alright, next we're going to go major again to C major. So find your C note on the high E string. That's why it's so important to know the names of the notes on the fretboard. So G, A, B, 8th fret there, C. Make that one major. Do the same thing to the 5, up a whole step. Okay, now we have the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5. Okay, it's always very, very helpful to remember that the 1, the 4, and the 5 are the only majors in a major key. There's a 1, 4, 5 for you. Okay, next we're going to be on 12 and 12 for E minor. Okay, the perfect 2 notes to go along with an E minor chord shape. Now we have this. Okay, take that up another whole step, and that's going to be for the F sharp diminished chord. Okay, so it's just going to be the same as the minor because we're only playing the root note and also the minor 3rd, which would also be a part of that diminished shape. Okay, then we're going to take it on back home. We got the 15th fret of the high E string and the 16th fret of the G string. Okay, which is very difficult on this acoustic guitar. Okay, so there we have the entire major scale in harmony using our high E string and also our G string. just like that. Okay, excellent work everybody. Thus far we have reviewed the G major scale on a single string, and we've learned how to harmonize those notes with notes on the G string being sourced from our bar chord shapes. G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp diminished, and G major. Now once you've memorized the position for each of those harmonies and you can get to them very quickly, for example someone says C major, you can get right up to that 8th fret with the major shape, or A minor, you can get right down to the 5th fret with the minor variety, or go right up to F sharp diminished, G major, D major. If you have those on rapid fire, then I would recommend that you practice playing over some basic chord progressions like a 1, 6, 4, 5 progression. So G, E minor, C, D. Here's something that I would play using this technique if each of those chords was being played for a single measure. 1, 2, 3, G, and E minor, C, D, and right back to G. So that's very, very simple. Starts off sliding up into that position, which is a very, very common technique. Usually you want to slide from a whole step back. Okay, looking at the strings, we're sliding up in the G string, E, G, E, E, G, E. Very common pattern to play over top of a measure of G major with a common strumming pattern. Okay, do the same thing to the E minor chord. Okay, on the 12th fret. Same thing for the C major chord, sliding up to the 9th fret G string, we can slide from 7th fret. Notice how now we're switching back to that major variety, okay, that major shape. Alright, then take that up a whole step. Okay, for the D major chord, and get yourself back to G major for the progression to start over again. So that's just a very basic way of kind of layering over top of a basic chord progression. Alright friends, thanks so much for checking out this lead guitar tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Real quick, the question of the day. What has been the biggest challenge for you as it relates to lead guitar? Is it understanding the theory? Is it finding inspiration, creativity? You let me know down in the comment section below. Big thanks to my supporters at patreon.com/swiftLessons. I hope you're enjoying those extra resources. Thanks to you guys, I got many more lessons coming up, so keep checking back. Please subscribe, please share. This is Rob at Swift Guitar Lessons in Philadelphia, saying happy picking.